My name is Ali Mamata. I'm a visual artist and I mainly express my art through photography. So with the Evolution of Science Art project, basically they want to communicate some of the findings that have been found in the science field over the time. So basically artists are coming on board to help communicate some of the significant scientific findings. Artists like myself are coming on board to help communicate these specific scientific findings because art is expressive and art is freedom. So using art as a very main stream of communication would help simplify some complex findings in the field of science. Before I got to this project, I have to really be honest with this. I actually didn't know that we had a lot of scientists contributing to even the field, first off. The only scientists maybe everyone would know would be doctors, basically. So if scientists were being celebrated, I'm sure it's going to be in their individual circles and publicly they haven't been given the platform for everyone to actually know their great contributions to the field. Having artists on board to help communicate some of the scientific findings in the country is really a good step in the right direction because art is a communication mean, and plus we are able to also explore it in a creative angle and to not make anything very, very theoretical and very complex because with art, people actually even look at art for recreational purposes and for even relief. So helping communicate these particular findings through art is a really good step in that direction, and at least ultimately, if this continues for a long while, we'll be able to actually give scientists the required respect and acknowledge them for their very good work and their hard work in the field. So for the evolution of science in Ghana, I decided to tackle sickle cell. Sickle cell anemia is actually a disease with the red blood cells, basically. And for me, actually having a science background also, I actually found an interest in tackling that because I felt like with cells and with what I also do creatively as an artist, mainly expressing my work through photography, I'll be able to actually put up something complex and not very complex in a way that you might not understand, but then it's going to be aesthetically pleasing to anyone who would stumble across my work or who would visualize the work. So I would be tackling sickle cell anemia and I'm going to express it through my art. That's basically through photography, but then it goes through a process. So with my creative process, first I seek inspiration. So when I get my inspiration, I try to see how best I can actually own the idea and also put my elements and involve whatever I want to communicate in there. And my inspiration happens to be Mystique from X-Men. And Mystique has various patterns on her skin. And this time around, I intend to actually put cells instead of scales. So now I have to draw patterns, sketch out patterns I would want to actually paint on the model. Then I have to find a model who is very expressive enough and very comfortable and can also deliver some of the poses and some of the poses and some of the actual, how do I put it? The body paint job is a process. So if the model can't actually be painstaking enough and who isn't also very prepped for the process, but it can be quite stressful because it might take the whole day or probably take several hours to just get the work done. So finding like the best model or someone you can actually work with is very important. So I find the model, then we actually book a session, either a studio session or probably find a way to get things done. Then we'd have to paint. So painting, I do glow in the dark works, and sometimes getting the equipment or particular products I need in Ghana here is quite a tussle. So I have to do like my research very well and get the essential things I can work with in Ghana here easy and get the work done as soon as possible. So I paint on the model. Then after we do the photography session, whereby I come in as a photographer. So my visual arts is basically I'm conceptualizing ideas, going through a process to execute them, and making sure that I'm able to communicate them through photography. So that's when I do the photography, and as you know, photography, after that we have to edit, then I print the final art on canvas. So you actually now see it as a traditional art, and this is when I actually fit into the artist group. Like, I actually give you the traditional feel of how art feels. So you can actually now have the physical product and also the soft copy. So that's entirely my process. So finally, when all is done, when we go through all this tussle and all this creative process, I expect to first of all wow people, first off, and secondly, because the work has intricate details in there, should you pay attention more to the work, you'd realize everything you need to realize, because you'd see the normal red blood cells, you see the sickle cell blood cells, and you see the sickle cell red blood cells after they've actually served their purpose. So it actually gives you an idea on how even the cells in our body behave. Plus, sickle cell anemia disease or condition is a very serious case. So ultimately, it will be very important for people to know their blood groups also. And I think it's actually just put more highlight and more relevance on the subject that probably people are not taking seriously in here, because I'm sure people don't even know their blood group and don't actually are aware maybe of their states in terms of the, like, I think on a cellular level. So it actually invoke some attention for people to actually look at these things seriously.